You might be surprised to learn that I disagree with the Spectator columnist Rod Liddle on some things. A more recent example would be on mask wearing, and how it isn't much of an imposition on all of us. According to Rod. Well, tell that to the children in classrooms, I would reply, or waiting staff wearing the things with little proven efficacy all day long. In my view, that's completely intolerable, but guess what? I think he's more than welcome to make the case for mask wearing, and more than welcome to criticise people with my view as who find them intolerable as being selfish and all the rest of it, whatever he might criticise us as being. And guess what? Crucially, I hold this one-time popular opinion. My feelings around mask wearing aren't enough to mean Rod Liddle should be removed of a platform that one of our most august education institutions, supposedly anyway, should provide for a speaker as controversial as Rod Liddle. Why shouldn't he be able to be provided a platform to speak to a group of students? Because that's what's happened, folks. Rod Liddle at the University of Durham cracked a joke that he was disappointed to not see any sex workers, which was a nod to a recent story surrounding the university on safety training provided by them to undergraduates working in the industry. I kid you not, sex work classes, essentially. And students at the event stormed out, apparently. Some claimed to be, quote-unquote, absolutely livid, literally shaken at Liddle's comments on issues around gender. The local Labour Society naturally came out and said, our university doesn't owe hate a platform. I mean, get a grip. The college's principal, right, said at South College, we value, which is where it was, we value freedom of speech, and labelled those walking out as pathetic. Now, folks, he's since apologised. I will be doing no such thing. I've just called them pathetic myself. I will be doing no such thing. Because I think it's with regret that he's apologised. The student union has called on him to resign, and the university has began an investigation. More than 1,000 students have signed a letter to Durham's Vice-Chancellor claiming that Liddle made transphobic, sexist, racist and classist remarks. I wonder how many of them actually heard his speech. Now, I've had emails protesting my tweet defending Rod Liddle at Durham Uni. The right to address students who wish to hear him and agree with him or challenge him, also known as free speech, folks, is a really important and fundamental right in my view. Now, to me, this is a new authoritarianism. It's a new, they say, of course we like free speech. And then they set out a long list of prerequisites that your speech has to meet for it to be acceptable. He made some jokes about non-binary people, apparently, and apparently there was someone non-binary in the audience, and the student said, this is hate speech. I'm sorry. Your trendy new genders and all the rest of it that change every 2 minutes. You've got this long list, a new lexicon of genders and all. These students are petulant prats, right? They have a right to walk out. I don't doubt that for a second. I'm not suggesting they have to remain there chained to a speech that they don't want to hear. But they don't have the right to call for the college principal to lose his job, or for Mr. Liddle to lose his right to a platform. They do not have the right to dictate who can and cannot address their university. If these Marxist Millennials can't handle a few words and jokes, then I say God help them in the real world, folks. My fear is that there's a growing authoritarianism creeping across not just our country but the West. Feelings are more important than facts, silence and dissenting voices. Following the science means you'd better shut up. You can't say that is heard far too often. This nation used to be a bastion of free expression, with its universities serving as the intellectual defenders of these laudable principles. And I tell you what I do take away from this sorry saga is that unless you want your child to, at a cost of over, 9,250 quid a year, unless you want them to leave university, these indoctrination camps, somewhere to the left of Chairman Mao, perhaps it's best to skip it altogether, even if it does purport to be a Russell Group world leader. I'm Darren Grimes, for Reasoned UK.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Reasoned is a grassroots organisation that's entirely funded by people like yourself. So if you're in a position to do so, please do consider supporting us by clicking the link to the side there.